Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader this afternoon between the visiting Dickinson State University Blue Hawks out of Dickinson, North Dakota, and the Bellevue Bruins. The Bruins with a 9-6 win in game number 1, moving to 17-9 overall, 5-0 in the North Star Athletic Association. Dickinson State drops to 3-21. They are 1-4 in conference play.
Designated hitter, number 12, Bryce Zimmer.
Out of breath from running up those stairs to get back to the broadcast. All right, a big deep breath and we'll continue on. The Bruins once again the visiting team throughout this 4-game set because it was scheduled to be played in Dickinson, North Dakota, but because the temperature is in the 20s with snow on the ground in Dickinson, the series has been moved here to Omaha. Here's the starting lineup for the Bruins in game number 2. Leading off and playing center field, Jake Lacey. Batting second, the catcher, Logan Grant. Batting third and playing first base, Alec Ackerman. The cleanup hitter, the left fielder, Steven Elsner. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Brendan Luther. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Nick Grade. In the 7-hole, second baseman, C.J. Townsend. Batting eighth and playing right field, Anthony Lind. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, Bryce Zimmerer. On the mound for game number 2 today for the Bruins, Bryce Zimmerer, the right-hander, will be going at it against this Dickinson State lineup. For the Blue Hawks, leading off and playing center field, left field will be Nathaniel Gillick. Batting second and playing second base, Alberto Nieto. Batting third, the third baseman, Wyatt Wilharm. The cleanup hitter, Keanu Kalamayan. C.J. Molina bats fifth and plays first base. Batting sixth, the catcher, Caden Reeve. Batting seventh and playing right field, John Michael Gonzalez. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Cole Simbab. And batting ninth, center fielder, Luke Clinton. On the mound for the Blue Hawks, right-hander, Cooper Van Lucien. Those are the lineups for game number 2 as we're about to get right back at it. Chris, we saw the Bruins kind of a lackluster win, but a win nonetheless in game number 1. What do you look forward to here in game number 2?
If they can get off to a quick start here, like we talked about at the end of the last game, and as you just mentioned, kind of a slow start, early morning game, slow start, had to wake up, and it took them about 5 innings to really get going. But I thought that's also credit to Dickinson State, their pitch plan, their game plan against this lineup, and they executed it to a T until they switched it around and went more fastball heavy. That's when Bellevue started really getting the bats going, because this lineup loves hitting fastballs. So I'm curious to see what Dickinson, if they go back to the pitching backwards, a lot of breaking balls, a lot of sliders, that type of stuff, or if they're going to go more fastball heavy. So we'll see how this one turns out.
Cooper Van Lucien on the mound, a 1-3 record on the season in 25 2/3 innings of work. First pitch misses away against leadoff hitter, center fielder Jake Lacey. Van Lucien, a 7.71 earned run average. 21 strikeouts and 8 walks in those 25-plus innings of work. There's a fastball, but a little bit low, 2-0. Bellevue leads the all-time series between these two schools, a perfect 9-0. 18-0. There's a pitch in the zone, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, we invite you to be part of our broadcast by sending along a text message. Can't take phone calls, but we can take a text message. That pitch misses inside. Now 3-1. Jake Lacey, the leadoff hitter for the Bruins. That pitch hits the outside corner. Jake anticipating the ball 4 call has to come back. Now a full count.
So far, it's a pretty good at-bat right here by Lacey. He's doing a really good job. He's not swinging at anything that's really out of the zone.
Chopped that one foul over the third base dugout. Count remains at 3-2. Jake, the team leader in hits with 2 hits in game number 1. Now 37 hits on the season. Done a nice job of getting on base in that leadoff spot. Takes the pitch inside. He'll draw the leadoff walk. So once again, he becomes a base runner for the Bruins, trying to start things off on the top of the first inning. Bruins put up a 2-spot in game number 1 in inning number 1. Here's catcher Logan Grant.
Yeah, Logan 1 for 5 in game 1. His one hit came in his last at bat, so let's see if he can carry that over.
First pitch swinging, chopped to Molina at first. He'll steps on the bag for the first out. Throw to second base, not in time to get Jake Lacey advancing on contact. So Logan again swinging early in the count. Grounds out but advances the base runner. Next up, Alec Ackerman. Ackerman, 3 hits his first 3 times up today in game number 1.
Yeah, in between games, he just kind of looked at me and he's just like, I know, I can't believe I missed that last pitch. I was like, yeah, man, you ruined your streak. He's like, trust me, I know. So he knew what was going on. He knew that he was his 7 for 7 or 8 for 8 or whatever
8 for 8, yeah.
So he knew, and he's pretty upset with himself that he missed that pitch.
Let's see if he can pick right back up at it here. Misses inside. Von Lucian trying to keep the Bruins off the plate by pitching inside through the first 3 hitters. Alec with 30 hits on the season after 3 more on that 8 for 8 streak that extended back over the last 3 games. Runner goes from second base, but unfortunately fouled back to the screen. Jake Lacey had a great jump on the play. He'd have had third base stolen easily if Alec hadn't made contact.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hanging breaking ball. So if you're Alec, you don't want to not take that pitch, but that's probably the perfect time to take that pitch because he had that base stolen.
Pitch down low now, 3-1 the count on the Bruins first baseman. Van Lucian looks, line hard in left field. Alec picking right back up where he left off. Solid single to left field, puts runners at first and third with 1 away. Oh, Ackerman continuing to have his batting average climb coming into today's action. He was hitting .362, now 4 for 6 so far on the day. That's going to up it even further. He's going to be challenging Jake Lacey for the team lead in batting average. Time for the cleanup hitter, left fielder Steven Elsner. Elsner hitting .365 coming into today's action. Was 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch in game number 1 today. Von Lucian delivers up and away. A cool day in the Omaha Bellevue area. It was 35 degrees when we started game number 1 at 10 o'clock this morning. Into the 40s now, expecting to get to the low to mid 50s for a high temperature later today. There's a called strike. Currently 46 degrees. Not much of a breeze today, only 10 miles an hour. Had no impact on game number 1. That one's hit hard and high into deep left center field, and that one is long gone, almost hitting the bus that Dickinson State drove to the ball game today. Steven Elsner with a massive 3-run home run to give the Bruins the early lead.
Yeah, just a hanging breaking ball. I tried to kind of surprise him with a breaking ball there, and he just hung it, and that's why he's in the 4-hole. That's why he's the 4-hitter. Because he can do damage like that.
So the Bruins kind of slow starting in game number 1, but they waste no time in game number 2. The 3-run blast by Steven Elsner. For Elsner, that is his 7th home run on the season, and now 20 runs batted in. Next up in the Bruins attack, shortstop Brendan Luther. First pitch fastball just misses the outside corner. Luther was one of the hitting stars in game number 1. He had 2 doubles, each of them accounting for 2 runs batted in. Again outside, now 2-0. 2 for 3 with the walk, and those 4 runs batted in for Brendan in game number 1. That one gets through the hole between a diving first and second baseman, so Brendan Luther continues to swing a hot bat this afternoon, as he's now 3 for 4 on the day.
Now that is the third baseman.
Next up, Bellevue third baseman Nick Grade. Game number 2, a scheduled 9-inning contest. Should the 10-run rule apply, it'll come into effect after 7 innings of play. Long way to go before we can start talking about that, however. Breaking ball, low and away. Grade holds up on the swing.
Good take right there by Nick.
They appeal to the base umpire, but he agrees with the initial assessment, no swing. Runner goes on the hit and run. It's fouled out of play. Bruins were great last weekend in conference play against Valley City State on their hit and runs. 4 or 5 times at least they were successful on putting runners in motion and batters hitting behind them.
I don't think we've had, Coach Mullins has tried it 3 or 4 times a day, and I don't think we've executed one of them.
Oops.
I mean, and it's not like they're just taking, they're just fouling them off.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't get a great pitch to swing at, but you still have to swing. Michael Andrick behind the plate in game number 2 today. Braxton Arndt moves out to do the base decisions. Strike 2 on the breaking ball from Van Lucian.
Curious if he's going to go breaking ball again or fastball. More than likely, it'll be another breaking ball.
Van Lucian comes set at the belt. Fouled back to the net on a fastball. Van Lucian, a 6'5" sophomore from Belgrade, Montana. So, Montanans on both rosters. Big Sky country, the Treasure State, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful country. There's the breaking ball, popped up on the right side of the infield. C.J. Molina, the first baseman, will look it into his big first baseman's mitt for the second out of the inning. Well, Molina responsible for both putouts in the inning, one unassisted. That fly ball also unassisted. Here's second baseman C.J. Townsend with the single in the last game. C.J. has extended his hitting streak to 13 games now.
Yeah, hopefully the bottom of the order can get more production early on in the game. They did a great job at the end of the game in game 1 to be very productive when, Bellevue needed them to be.
Bellevue picking up 3 runs in the final inning of the first game today to win it by a score of 9-6. For the Bruins, Jace Wessels picks up the win in relief. Breaking ball, fouled back to the net. 1-1 the count on the Bruins' second sacker. Again, if you'd like to be part of our broadcast, we threw this out there in game number 1. We throw it out there every game we cover. Send us along a text message. Now they got the pickoff at first base, and the throw goes out into left field. So a fortunate turn of events for Brendan Luther as he was going on the pitch, but the pitch never came. E3 on the throw from the first baseman Molina.
Yeah, I wonder if he was going on timing. He had picked up some sort of timing mechanism, and when he thought he was going to go home, he picked over at the exact time. And then, only able to get a second because the first baseman threw it in the left field.
Here's the pitch to Townsend, kind of an excuse-me swing, fouls off the netting over the head of Anthony Lind on deck. That text message number, once again, is 402-515-7654. I can't take phone calls, but we can take text messages. Let us know where you're listening, who you're rooting for, any players you want us to mention, any tidbits of information you want us to pass along. Here's the pitch. Bounce to the plate, nice block by catcher Caden Reeve. Reeve behind the dish in game number 2 for the Blue Hawks. Cam Erickson did it in game number 1. I was going to say wearing the tools of ignorance, but that's not very nice to say. Swing and a miss on a big sweeping breaking ball for the strikeout that retires the side. But the Bruins pick up 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After a half, the Bruins 3 and the Blue Hawks coming to bat.
Yeah, good job by Bellevue getting 3 on the board. Excuse me, getting 3 on the board in the first inning. Now it's up to Brady Toth to keep the zeros, have a quick start on the mound, keeping momentum this way.
Brady Toth, the starter for Bellevue in game number 2, the right-handed pitcher, now in his 7th appearance of the season. This is his 4th start. 2 wins, 2 losses in 23 1/3 innings of work. Also has a save. Has allowed 28 hits, has struck out 19, and has walked 6. 7.33 earned run average. Setting the Bellevue defense, same as game number 1. Across the infield, it's Ackerman, Townsend, Luther, and Grade. Sorry, Nick. Across the outfield, Elsner, Lacey, and Lind. Logan Grant once again behind the plate for the Bruins, catching the pitches of Brady Toth.
Yeah, Brady Toth, he's a mid-80. He can touch 90 guy. He's got, fastball, slider, curveball. I think he has a splitty too. It's it's what he uses as a changeup. When he's going good, he's really effective and he's very hard to beat.
First man he will face, leadoff man, Nathaniel Gillick. Ball 1 called on the first offering from Toth.
Not sure.
Yeah, that looked pretty darn good.
Logan looks pretty upset that he didn't get that strike 1 call.
Popped up into the outfield toward left field. Steven Elsner calling for it, drifting a little bit towards center, and he'll put the glove on it for the first out of the inning. F-7 on the play. Next up, second baseman Alberto Nieto. Nieto had a good game number 1, 2 for 4, including a double and a run scored. Breaking ball, called strike 1. 9 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Bellevue in game 1. 6 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Blue Hawks. Line fouled on the right field side over into the Bellevue bullpen. 0-2 the count on the second sacker for the Blue Hawks. Toth winds and delivers, line hard. That'll get through the right side for a base hit. Alberto Nieto waited on the off-speed pitch and slices it off the field for the base hit.
Yeah, I don't think that caught too much of the plate than what he originally wanted. He shook to it, so it wasn't, they weren't on the same page right away. I think it was the right pitch, it's just wrong location.
Wyatt Wilharm, the next to step to the batter's box for the Blue Hawks. He's got that front foot right on the inside part of the batter's box, tight to the plate. Toth, first pitch a little up, ball 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Brady pound him in with how on top of the plate he is, because if he gets extended, he's only going to pull a foul.
Wilharm with a 2-run home run. Runner goes on the play to throw to second base, not in time. A stolen base for Alberto Nieto.
Yeah, that was a really good jump by him. Logan made a pretty good throw, but he would have to make a perfect throw to get him. He had such a good jump.
Nieto now with 14 stolen bases on the season, 14 out of 15 attempts. That's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Or just the opposite. 2 balls, 1 strike is what he flashed on his hand signals from the plate. Doesn't matter as that one's hit to left field for a base hit. Wilharm advances the runner to the third, reaches first base. Steven Elsner gets the ball in quickly to hold Nieto to a 90-foot advance on the play. So back-to-back base hits for the Blue Hawks as they want to try to stay right in this one as they did in game number 1 today.
Now that is the designated hitter, number 3.
Designated hitter Keanu Kalamayan. Wilharm and Kalamayan did a lot of damage in that game number 1, each of them with home runs in the game. Kalamayan 2 for 3, a single, a home run, and a strikeout. Bruins looking for a double play ball to get out of the inning. Blue Hawks looking for a hit to get on the scoreboard. There's a breaking ball in the zone, strike called.
I mean, even if you're Dickinson, you want to get that run in from third no matter what, whether that's a fly ball as there's a throw over to first. Fly ball, ground ball, whatever the case may be, try and get one run across so you don't have to fight as far back.
Toth comes set, delivers another breaking ball, that one low and away. Bottom of the first inning in this scheduled 9-inning contest. From a cool but mostly sunny John Stella Field at Brown Park in Omaha, Nebraska. On the outside corner, paint that one for a called strike 2.
Good pitch. I wouldn't be surprised to see that splitter right here. Get down in the zone, get a ground ball.
Grant signals he wants the pitch over the outside half. That's where it is, but a little too far outside. 2-2 the count. 2 on, 1 out. Chopper foul up the third base side. Same situation. Kalamayan, a senior out of Tucson, Arizona. My wife and I were just in Tucson about 2 weeks ago, a little spring vacation. The sky a very vivid blue, the sun very hot. Line drive, up the middle for a base hit. That'll score a run as Keanu Kalamayan puts the Blue Hawks on the board, scoring Alberto Nieto. And Wilharm advancing to second on the play.
Yeah, he did a really good job letting that baseball travel. It was a fastball, but it was off the plate on the outside corner. If he would have went to go get it, he probably would have rolled it over to the shortstop. Not a bad location for that pitch, but it was just better hitting.
Next up, the first baseman, C.J. Molina, Jr. Molina up 1 spot in the batting order from where he was in game number 1. Took an 0 for 2 in that one. Big swing but comes up empty. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
He's throwing a lot of fastballs. I wonder if that's just, game plan wise so far to start this game. He hasn't thrown out a whole lot of breaking pitches.
On the outside corner for a called strike 2. Both teams have the pitchers signaled in from the bench from their respective pitching coaches. You can't really see it on the screen, but both catchers wearing a little earpiece, a little antenna hanging down off of that, where the signal is relayed in from the bench. Coming our way. I'd have had it if there weren't 2 nets in between us.
And a window.
And a window. I'm old, but I still have visions of glory. I can make that play. 1-2, the count remains. Carlos Molina, Jr., or CJ, as he is in the lineup. Swing and a miss. That looked like the changeup there as the bottom dropped out of it. First strikeout of the game for starting pitcher Brady Toth.
That's right around the location he wants to throw that pitch, especially with 2 strikes, because it's going to drop out of the zone. So the more it looks like a strike as it gets to the plate, more than likely you're going to get somebody to swing and miss like he just did.
Here's catcher Caden Reeve, his first at-bat of the afternoon. Breaking ball. Must have been a little high.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell from up here. Could have been in. It's really hard to tell, but it looked like Logan caught it in a pretty good spot.
1-0 count on Reeve. Fastball. He went around, says home plate umpire Michael Andrick. Two out, two on. 3-1 our score. 4 runs on the board between the two teams thus far in inning number 1. That one's hit hard to center field. That's going to drop. That'll be extra bases. 1 run is in. Second runner around in third. Michael Dow waving him home. Here comes Brendan Luther's throw to the plate. It is not in time. It'll be a 2 RBI double for Caden Reeve. And the Blue Hawks have come right back to tie it at 3-3. Wilharm and Kalamayan scoring on the play.
That's a great job by Dickinson to come all the way back to get those 3 runs right back. Pitcher, gives up the 3 spot in the first. But, again, this Dickinson State team, yes, they're 3-29. We've talked about it. But they don't play like it. They will keep fighting and they will keep playing. You have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to go out and beat them. And they're doing a really good job of keeping the pressure or just fighting and getting runs back and getting runs back. And right now, it's back to a 0-0 ball game.
Trent Chavez enters the game as the courtesy runner for the catcher Reeve. And first time to the plate today. First pitch swinging, John Michael Gonzalez. Alec Ackerman knocks it down, gets it over to Toth covering first. 3-1 on the play, and the side is retired. But not before the Blue Hawks come up with 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. A run-filled inning number 1. We're tied at 3-3. The Bruins and the Blue Hawks in the second game of today's doubleheader action.
Yes, so far it's going to be just like game 1. So it's going to be a back and forth, grind it out, probably 9-inning ball game that each team is going to have to go through. So I think bullpen is going to be, kind of a big part of this game, especially as the later innings go along. What bullpen is probably going to be more effective.
We saw bullpen action in game number 1 as well. There were 4 pitchers that wound up throwing for the Blue Hawks in that 7-inning contest. 2 pitchers for the Bellevue Bruins. So could have more on the way. Our first text message of this game comes from Dickinson State University softball team. They say, "Go Hawks," and send along a yellow softball emoji as well. So glad you ladies are with us today. Some of the members of the Bellevue softball squad, they have practice later on. They came early to watch a couple innings of the baseball action today. So good luck to both softball teams as they compete in the North Star Athletic Association. Again, the text message number, if you want to send along our greetings, 402-515-7654. Both teams send 7 batters to the plate in inning number 1. Let's get started with inning number 2 with right fielder Anthony Lind. First pitch breaking ball, down low on the offering from Cooper Van Lushen.
Again, that looks like a pretty good pitch from our vantage point.
Yeah.
We're up high, we're behind. We can't really tell as well, but it looks from our vantage point like a good pitch.
A little tighter strike zone, maybe with Michael Andrick behind the plate. 2-0 the count. Lind awaits the next pitch. Lines that one hard. That'll go into left field for a base hit. Hard hit moving ball off the bat, kind of ate up shortstop Cole Simbab, who started going to his glove hand side, then twisted back, couldn't make the play. So a well-struck start to the top of the second inning for Anthony Lind.
Yeah, it almost, I don't know if it was knuckling or what, because it looked like it was going up the middle, and the last second kind of made a hard left turn and kind of ate up the shortstop. I mean, when you're not anticipating a ball doing that, you're going to lose your footing.
Yeah, he sounded like he hit it crisply off the bat. Usually those don't knuckle. I think just that had maybe some top spin that just that made it do that left turn. Here's designated hitter Bryce Zimmer. First pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 called.
I mean, third base is playing pretty far in because, Zimmer's speed, he's one of probably the fastest guy on this Bellevue roster, and he can bunt very well. So if he does bunt, I would look for him to pull it towards first base.
Tyler Monroe got the DH start in game number 1. He went 1 for 4, so opportunity here for Bryce Zimmer in that DH spot in the 9-hole. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Bryce. Breaking ball bounces. Blocked up by the catcher, Reeve. Breaking ball chopped on, and a nice diving stop by the first baseman, Molina. Now it's a foot race, and on the dive, C.J. Molina able to slap the glove on the base to retire a speedy Bryce Zimmerer.
Yeah, that's a great play. 'Cause, I mean, that's easily a base hit. You're probably going first and third. You're probably going to have runners at first and third. That's actually a big-time play. And that was a bang-bang play. He dove in the hole, probably took one step and dive, and Zimmer made it a bang-bang play with his speed.
Back to the top of the order for the Bruins. Second time through the order for Jake Lacey, the center fielder. Lacey walked his first time up. Just under a .500 on-base percentage on the season for Lacey, getting that job done in the top spot. Line hard down the left field line. That's going to be into the corner for extra bases. Here comes Anthony Lynn around the bag to score the fourth run of the game for the Bruins. An RBI double for Jake Lacey to give the Bruins the 4-3 lead.
Yeah, the ball, it looked like it went right over the top of the bag and down in the left field corner. Now with Logan coming up, he's got to be more patient. I mean, that's what it's coming down to. He's not being patient enough. He's not seeing pitches very well. He's trying to make it happen instead of letting the at-bat come to him.
Grounded out to first base, his first time up. Von Lucian coming set, delivers the breaking ball. That's low. Good take for Grant there. This could be one of those 18-16 games.
Yeah,
as both teams off to a flying start on offense. That one's hit hard to center field. Center fielder going back to the warning track will make the catch. Grant hit it well, but to the deepest part of the park. The play made out there by center fielder Luke Clinton. Clinton was in right field in game number one. Now in center field here. So a well-struck ball, but it's an out as Alec Ackerman steps to the plate.
Yeah, Logan hit that ball on the money. He just hit it right at him. If he hits that 10 feet to the right or left, it's probably a double.
Ackerman is a single the first time up today. 4 hits on the game, on the doubleheader. Hacks at that one, got a little piece of the catcher on the backswing as well. Looks like Reeve is going to be okay. Alec says, sorry, didn't mean to club you.
That's the risk you take of being a catcher, right?
Yeah. That pitch was going inside, kept going inside, so the catcher moving to his left, trying to make the play. That one's well struck to left center field. That one has some giddy up, and that one's going to bang out of here off the bus that Dickinson State came in. Second time that balls have been hit out trajectory, so Alec Ackerman continues to swing it well. A 2-run home run. The Bruins with 3 runs in the first, and now 3 more here in the second. Alec Ackerman steps on home plate. Helmet taps with his teammates. And that'll bring to the plate Steven Elsner. Elsner with the 3-run home run in the first time up.
You know, that's something that he's probably been waiting for. I mean, he's seeing the baseball well. He has, what, now 9 hits, 9, or his last 10, or 10 or 11, whatever it is.
I've run out of fingers, so yeah.
So
a bunch.
And I don't think that, I think that's his first home run, which isn't, I mean, that's not quite like him.
His first home run today, that's 6 on the season, yes. 6 on the season, 2 more RBI, give him 24 on the year. Came in hitting .362, now 5 hits on the day. That'll up your average as well. 5 out of 7 on the day. 2-0 the count on Elsner. Cooper Van Lucian, after giving up home runs in each of the first 2 innings, pitching Elsner very carefully. Now 3-0.
I wonder if he's going to get the green light here, or if Coach Munlux is going to make him take.
After crushing a 3-run home run, I think I'd give him green.
I would too.
A little chopper foul. Hey, nice play by home plate umpire Mike Andrick to spear that one barehanded. That one's hit hard on the left field line. Stay fair. It is just foul. Had a little hook on that one.
Yeah, probably 6 inches foul. Just foul. Or else that's a stand-up double.
No, he'll retrace his steps. The count goes to 3-2 now. All right, Stevens ready to swing again if it's in the zone. It is. It's hit out to center field. Again, it is Clinton out there. Couple of steps to his glove hand side. He'll look it in to retire the side. Bellevue picks up 3 more runs in the inning. 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors. Nobody left on base after the big blast. The Bruins 6 and the Blue Hawks 3.
Great job by that Bellevue offense of getting those runs right back.
3 runs in each of the first 3 half innings, so this one could be a 27-27 contest. Maybe they keep going at this pace. So
it's going to come down to the pitching right now. These 2 offenses are both seeing the base. Both of them are seeing the baseball really well. So it's going to come down to pitching. Both defenses are playing pretty well. Dickinson does have that 1 error, but that error didn't come back to cost him. So it's going to come down to the pitching. What arms are going to pitch better? Right now, they're both even. Brady gave up 3, they gave up 3, and then 3 more here in the second. So can he respond and keep it at a 0?
Brady Toth back to the mound for now his 2nd inning of work. He'll be facing the 8-9-1 part of the order. Shortstop Cole Simbab will lead things off for the Blue Hawks.
Shortstop, number 11, Cole Simbab.
First pitch fastball, called strike 1. Good start for Toth. Breaking ball in the zone. Even better start. Now 0-2. Simbab 0 for 2 in game number 1. Did have a sacrifice fly for an RBI. 1-2 now the count. Lays off a high fastball, 2-2.
Good pitch. Good location right there. Missed up and in.
Trying to get Simbab to chase, but he laid off. Toth looks in from the wind. Breaking ball misses away, so count goes full.
I think he needs to start that more on the inside part of the plate rather than down the middle, because it's just breaking really hard to the other batter's box. So he's got to make an adjustment with his breaking ball.
The payoff pitch on its way. A little chopper foul. We'll do it again. Brady Toth, the 6'2", 210-pound junior out of Boise, Idaho. And we'll do it again. Second foul ball.
Good at bat to start this inning by Dickinson. Stay right here. They're doing a really good job. He's fighting off a lot of pitches.
And another foul ball. Trifecta of 3 and 2 foul balls. Chased down by one of the Bruins over near the bullpen. Toth shakes off not once, but twice. And fouled back to the screen once again. That's Cole Simbab battling tough.
Yeah, you got to throw a breaking ball here at some point, and because right now he's sitting fastball, he's getting a good piece of your changeup.
And strikes out swinging on the pitch from Toth.
Yeah, there was that breaking ball that I was just talking about.
Good call, Coach.
You got to mix that up. You got to mix that in there, especially if you're, even though if it's not being really effective, you got to give them a different look. Especially if he's fighting everything else that you're throwing. You may not have a lot of confidence, but you still have to throw it.
The next batter, Luke Clinton, the center fielder. He's been pretty active defensively already. Fouls the first pitch over near his team's dugout. Slow roller to shortstop. Brendan Luther gloves it off the back foot, throws across the diamond. 6-3 on the play for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, good job right there by Brady Toth, throwing a fastball in on his hands, not letting him get extended. He just fisted it right to Luther at short.
Back to the top of the order for the Blue Hawks. Second time through the order against Brady Toth. He'll be facing Nathaniel Gillick. Gillick, the left fielder. In game number 2, the Blue Hawks having to do a little moving of their outfielders after Clay Prell, who got the start in left in game number 1, injured his foot running to first base in game number 1 of the doubleheader. That breaking ball just misses a little bit low. 1-1 to count. Gillick flew out to left his first time up. Hit the opposite way to right field. Anthony Lynn a couple of steps to his right to make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning for Dickinson State. After 2 complete, the Bellevue Bruins 6, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 3.
That was a much better inning by Brady Toth right there. Didn't rely on just his fastball splitter. You know, he broke out his curveball just because I think he needs that third pitch to get him through. You know, usually you want to save some pitches, but, you know, you don't have to throw it all the time. But now it gives them something else to think about when they're on deck, when they're, you know, in the box. Okay, is this when he's going to break it out? So he did a really good job that inning of breaking it out when he needed to, even though it wasn't great. He might have only thrown like 1 or 2 for strikes, but one of them was a swing and miss for strike 3, and the other one I think was that ball that he hit out to right field. Other than that, none of the other ones were strikes.
Yep. You like to have your starting pitcher have 3 or 4 pitches available because you're hoping he's going to go maybe 3 times through the lineup, whereas a reliever, if he's got 2 really good pitches, he can usually get by with that because it's usually a one-time only opportunity.
Yes.
Here we go at the top of the third inning. The Bruins in the middle part of the lineup. 5-hole hitter, shortstop, Brendan Luther.
The shortstop, number 24, Brendan Luther.
Luther tripled his double total on the season. Had 1 double coming in, had 2 in game number 1. Hits this one well to straightaway center field. That's off the batting background, and Brendan Luther with a solo home run gives the Bruins a 7-3 lead.
Yeah, fastball right on the inner third of the plate where every left-handed hitter loves the baseball. And he does the damage. You know, he's got that type of power.
Well, Luther now with 3 doubles, but 6 home runs on the season and 19 runs batted in now. Michael Dow working his way out to the pitcher's mound. Looks like we might have a pitching change here. He'll take the ball from starter Cooper Van Lucian, and we will have the pitching change after the solo home run. The Bruins with home runs in each of the first 3 innings today, jumping out to the 7-3 lead. Another right-hander coming in from the bullpen. As soon as we get the number, we'll give you the name.
Yeah, with only 1 home run in game 1 for the 7 innings that they played. They have 3 already in the first 3 innings. So, no, I'm not saying they're going to keep that up, obviously.
Why not?
You know, Coach Monlux would take that for sure if they get a home run every inning. But it took them a while to get going. They haven't, you know, this Bellevue lineup, what I mean, they haven't stopped since the 5th inning of game 1. They've scored every single inning since the 5th inning of game 1. And once that, it was like they needed that kickstart to really get their day going.
Yeah, Dickinson State have shown that they've come to play, so Bellevue realizing that, but it took a couple innings to get going, but doing well now. Back in to relieve, he was also in game number 1, number 27, Patrick Dietz, coming in for the Blue Hawks. The right-hander.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Dickinson State came to play. They're, just because you have this 4-run lead right now, it can evaporate in a hurry because they are going to fight until the very end.
For Dietz, this is now his 8th appearance on the season. Came in with an earned run average just under 15. Came on in game number 1. He was the second pitcher of the game in that one. Dwayne Monlick's doing a little groundskeeping with some of the little rubber pellets that they use to fill in the area between the bristles of the field turf.
Yeah, it almost looks like the turf is ripping in the catcher's box, so I think he just put a little bit more of the rubber beads down.
First man that Dietz will face is third baseman Nick Grade. It misses away, ball 1. Grade popped up his first time up today. Dietz, little chin music there, now 2-0 the count. Grade was 1 for 3 in game number 1. Also had a sacrifice bunt. A little tardy on the 2-0 pitch, now 2-1.
Yeah, the pitch was out over in the middle of the plate. Just swung underneath it, it looked like.
The Kennewick, Washington native awaits the pitch. Now 3-1 the count.
Catcher did a really good job of framing that pitch. It looked like it was off the plate a little bit, but he was able to bring it back to get that called strike.
Now, on the outside, Black. Grade didn't like that call. He goes down looking for the first out of the inning. I'm sorry, I was off on the count as well. I thought it was 3-1, but apparently it was 2-2. Here's C.J. Townsend. Townsend, a strikeout victim, his first time up. So Patrick Dietz records a strikeout on the first man he faces. Second strikeout against Bruin hitters in this second game. Down low, ball 1. CJ's brother Brock, a member of the Bellevue baseball squad this year. CJ wearing number 7, Brock wearing number 8. Breaking ball in the zone. CJ started his college career at Treasure Valley Community College. His brother Brock played at Lynn Benton Community College and also at Oregon State. Popped up on the infield. All right, who's going to take charge of this one? Molina comes in from first base. He'll catch it for the second out of the inning.
So far, good start after, that leadoff home run. Good job by this bullpen coming in to get the next 2 guys out. So see if he can keep it a somewhat clean inning in relief.
Right fielder Anthony Lynn next to step to the plate for the Bruins. Here's the pitch from Dietz, down low. Don't often see relievers come in twice in the 2 games of a doubleheader.
No, you're right. But, if depends on how deep your bullpen is. I mean, if you have no other choice.
Top of the zone, called strike, 1-1.
I know I never did. I wanted to. I begged my coaches to, but they wouldn't allow me to go in 2 games in one day.
Chris, a member of the Bellevue pitching staff. What year did you graduate?
I was done playing in 2010.
2010, all right. Under then head coach Mike Evans?
Yep.
Chris, now a police officer, as well as a volunteer assistant coach for the Bruins, when he's available to do that.
Yeah, Coach Monlex has been pretty gracious to let me help out whenever I'm available. I've been here a lot more than I was last year.
And Lynn will draw the walk to keep the inning alive with 2 outs.
So, I've been here a lot more than I was last year, so I'm able to, help out a lot more with the team. I don't go on any road trips. I don't go to any away games or anything like that, just because my schedule and my kids and all that stuff, that I'm not able to do that. But, any of these types of games and home games and practices, I'm usually at, 90% of them.
And color analysis on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network, doing a nice job for us for the last couple of years. Zimmer fouls that one off on the third base side. One strike to count on Bryce. Grounded out to first his first time up. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a called strike to throw out into center field. Lynn gets up and heads to third. Credit Anthony with the stolen base on the play, and then an error on the throw from catcher Caden Reeve.
Yeah, he got such a good jump. I don't even think if it was a perfect throw, he would have got him. He was coming up from his slide when the ball crossed second base, it looked like. So he got such a good jump on that.
Lynn with stolen bases in each of the games today, now 9 on the season. And he'll score here off the RBI single from Bryce Zimmer. The Bruins doing a nice job getting a runner in scoring position and then getting him home.
Yeah, it was a great 0-2 count. Really good at bat right there. Just put the bat on the ball, shot it the other way. I mean, he's a guy who should do that anyway. Hit the ground, look at hitting a ball into the 6 hole every single time. Because with his speed, not a whole lot of teams are able to throw him out.
Back to the top of the order, third time through for Jake Lacey. Zimmer goes with a pitch, and he's got the bag stolen. Nice grab by the second baseman, Nieto, to keep that one from going out into center field.
And that's why he is the 9 go. Him and Monroe are 9 guys, the 9 hitters. Not because they're bad. It's because they can create havoc when they're on the bases when it gets back to the top of the order.
3 home runs, 2 stolen bases so far for the Bruins offense, as they have scored in each of the first 3 innings. That one's hit to right field, coming on. The right fielder can't make the play. Diving effort by Gonzalez, but he can't come up with it. And it'll be a RBI double for Jake Lacey.
Yeah, another breaking ball that he was able to just hit to right center field, or correction, right field. And ball wasn't hit very hard. Right fielder had to come in. Fantastic effort, leaving out, just went off his glove. I mean, they made a diving catch earlier in game 1. That one, they were just out of the reach.
Brendan Luther had 2 doubles in game number 1. Now Jake Lacey with 2 doubles in game number 2. The batter is Logan Grant. Always a good sign for your offense when the top of your order is batting for the 3rd time in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, and you have 3 runs in each inning.
Good symmetry by the Bruins today. I was joking earlier about the Bruins scoring 27 runs, but they're on a pace to do that. Bruins have gone over the 20 mark a couple of times in this 2024 campaign. I think they did it 4 times last year. Grant lays off that pitch outside. 2-1 the count on the Bruins catcher. All-conference player last year in his first year as a Bellevue Bruin. Opposite field, it's high in the air. Out there, left fielder makes the play. That's Nathaniel Gillick to retire the side. A ball that was about as high as it was far. The Bruins pick up 3 more runs on 3 more hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. Our score after 2.5, the Bellevue Bruins 9, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 3.
Yeah, good job by this offense to keep their momentum going. Obviously 3 runs in each of the first 3 innings, 9 runs. They have 9 hits total. They've done a really good job of keeping it going, adding on to building what they've done in the last into the first game.
How does that make you feel as a pitcher when you go out with a 9 runs scored by your team through the first 3 innings?
It makes it you're a lot more comfortable. He probably wants to, it can go both ways. I've pitched in a game, when I was here, we played Concordia. We beat them 40-5.
I remember, I did the broadcast of that game. That was an NAIA record or top 5, I think.
That game was very hard to pitch in because, you're sitting down for a half hour, 45 minutes every inning. That's different than what this is. This, you kind of have 15, 20 minutes maybe. So he's probably talking with Coach Malley about who's coming up, what I want to throw, what feels good, having that conversation with him and Logan about what he wants moving forward, how they're going to pitch these next 3 guys. And then if he needs to go play catch, go down to the bullpen, play some light catch just to stay warm.
Leading off for the Blue Hawks, second baseman, number 36.
Leading it off for the Blue Hawks in the bottom of the third, second baseman Alberto Nieto. I remember that game. That was the first year I did baseball broadcast for Bellevue, and Concordia started a freshman, his first start of the season, a midweek game. He went through the first 11 batters without retiring anyone, so they finally took him out. He had an infinity earned run average.
And what's crazy is, this is how crazy the game baseball is. We played them a week prior to that at their field, and we won 4-6. We had to come back and win when we played them at their place.
Down low on that pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Nieto, the second sacker for the Blue Hawks.
So it's just crazy how, you play the same team, twice in a week span. As there's ball 2, twice in a week span, and one you have to come back to win, and then the next one you score 40 runs. Yeah. It's just a crazy game.
Toth on the 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled out of play by Nieto. Brady Toth back to the hill for the Bruins. Gave up 3 runs in the first, then a 1-2-3 second. Whoa, hello, watch out on deck. Nieto with a loose grip on the bat, swings and misses the ball. The bat goes flying. 1 out in the books as Wyatt Wilharm's life flashes before his eyes. Now he'll step to the plate.
There's that breaking ball I was talking about earlier. I wonder if he's going to just start throwing it more, as the time goes on, because right now they haven't hit it.
Wyatt Wilharm singled his first time up today. Comebacker. Toth gets out of the way of that one. Nice play by Brendan Luther to field it and throw off that left leg. On time, 6-3, and a nice athletic play by the Bruins shortstop.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it actually was. He made that play look really easy. It wasn't that easy of a play. Not hit very hard. He fielded it right basically over the top of the bag and made a rocket of a throw.
Keanu Kalamayan, the next batter for the Blue Hawks. He had a single and an RBI his first time up to get his team on the board. Breaking ball missed somewhere. Looked pretty good from here again, but like we mentioned before, a little tighter strike zone in game number 2 than we saw in game number 1. Line hard, but Brendan Luther started to jump, realized he didn't have to as it came back to him. And he'll make the catch to retire the side. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Brady Toth and the Bruins defense as the Blue Hawks go down in order. 3 innings in the book. Bruins up by 6, 9-3 our score. Thought I saw my phone jiggle. There we go. Hey, where have you guys been? Baby, from the Townsends in Oregon. Let's go Seegers. Let's go Bruins. Let's stay hot. So C.J. Townsend with a 13-game hitting streak. 0 for 2 thus far in this one, but trying to extend that, obviously. As the Bruins up by 6 after winning game number 1 by a score of 9-6. So the number 9, big number for the Bruins today. 9 runs in this one, 9 runs in the first run. On the season, the Bellevue Bruins averaging right at 7 runs per game. For Dickinson State, they're averaging 4 runs per game. And we'll say it again, we don't mean this to be demeaning in any capacity. The Blue Hawks only 3-21 on the season, but they play like a team that has a much better record than what's being shown.
They do, and that's a credit to the players. Their mindset, that coaching staff. They don't walk around like they don't win baseball games. Watching them warm up, I'll say it again, watching them warm up, they're in and out, it was very crisp, what their actions. They were very crisp. They were very sharp. They came here ready to go as there's ball 1 to Ackerman. They came here ready to win. They came here ready to play. And they gave Bellevue a scare in that first game. I'll be honest, they were winning 4-2. It took Bellevue 5 innings to get going. They gave them a scare. And I think that's what caught Bellevue's attention, as it's now 1-1 for a strike. That's what caught Bellevue's attention. I'm like, okay, we got to take these guys a little bit more serious And ever since that point, Bellevue's playing like Bellevue.
Foul out of play by Ackerman. Count goes to 1-2. We even said that before the game as they were taking infield practice, in and out practice. Like, God, this doesn't look like a 3-20 team.
Yeah.
They have, very peppy infield. They made some plays, made some throws, played a very good game number one, and we're at it again in game number two. Ackerman fouling another one back to the screen. Last year, Presentation College was part of the North Star Athletic Association before they closed their doors at the end of the year. They will wound up the season something like 0-40, I think, and they kind of, but they kind of looked and played like an 0-40 team. This team here from Dickinson does not. 2-2 the count on the Bruin first baseman. Number 16 on his jersey. Lays off the high pitch. Count goes full. Alec Ackerman leading off the top of the third inning. Bellevue has gotten the leadoff man on in each of the first 3 innings. Ackerman trying to get that done in the fourth. Dietz comes set. Breaking ball and through to left field. Ackerman continuing to swing the bat for the Bruins. Just a 3-for-3 game so far.
I thought that third baseman made that. The way my angle was, it looked like...
I thought he had it too.
It looked like he just made it a heck of a laying out play, but it must have just went right under his glove.
Wyatt Wilharm gave it a good attempt, but couldn't come up with the ball, so Alec Ackerman, the base runner at first, for cleanup hitter, left fielder Steven Elsner. Foul out of play right side up near my old house up on W Street. As a little kid, this was my home away from home, playing baseball down here. We played baseball in the summertime. We played football in the fall. They used to flood the parking lot out behind center field, so we'd ice skate and play hockey out there in the wintertime. As I go tripping down memory lane, Steven Elsner swings and misses for an 0-2 count. Misty watercolor memories. I'll stop singing. 0-2 the count. Chases the high fastball for the strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was just 3 straight high fastballs that he fouled the first one off and swung through the next 2. So I think he was a little bit antsy right there. Wanted to join in on the action after he got his home run in the first inning.
So now 1 for 3 for Elsner. Stepping in, shortstop Brendan Luther. Luther also a home run generator. His last at-bat. That brought an end to the start of the starting pitcher, Cooper Van Lucien, as that one gets by. Wild pitch will advance Ackerman to second base. Good to see Alec, back to full speed after recovering from that injury last year.
Yeah, it took him a while to really get back, because he had to have surgery on his labrum, I believe it was. So it took him a while to really get back. I know this fall, as there's strike 1, I'm sorry. It took him a while to get back. It took all fall. He didn't really get into full-on throwing until the winter. Now I think he's really starting to get very comfortable with it.
That one's going to be a base hit left side by Luther. He's had a 3 for 3 day. Ackerman rounding third. He will score easily, chugging on home. And the Bruins in double digits. (10-3) our score. RBI single for Brendan Luther. He's had RBIs each of his last 2 times up. So Luther now with 28 runs batted in, I believe, on the season.
Yeah, and he's just hammering that left center gap, left field. He had his home run to center, but he's not pulling anything.
Nick Gray, the batter, swings and misses at a fastball.
And when he's going really well, that's what he does. He goes center field, or left center, left field. That's what he's been doing all day. I think he has 1 hit to center field. Everything else has been center field to left field.
Gray 0 for 2 in this game. Looking to join the hit parade. That one flies up and away. Long look down to head coach Dwayne Monlux in the third base coaching box. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Bruins, the visiting team. Breaking ball in the zone. Now 1-2. Gray to combine 1 for 5 on the doubleheader.
I'm sure that's got him a little disappointed. With
Swings and misses there. Second time he has struck out today. 2 outs on the inning, both of them strikeouts. And now second baseman C.J. Townsend steps to the plate, the Oregon native. Again, hi to his folks listening in. And thanks to everyone listening in on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Chris Williamson doing the color. Mick Krupski here doing the play-by-play. Sure beats working. Strike called on the first pitch from Patrick Dietz. That one's going to be a base hit into right center field. Maybe extra bases if it gets to the wall. It does. It is. Here comes the runner around third. That's Luther. He will score. Townsend heads to third base with a stand-up triple and a run batted in and add another hit to another game to his hit streak. As the Bruins make it an 11-3 score. Is that 14-game hitting streak now, Bill? 14-game hitting streak, confirmed by sports information guy Bill Mullins. Anthony Lynn steps in. Lynn to hit and a walk. And 2 runs scored thus far. Returning outfielder from last year. Down low.
that looked like a pretty decent pitch right there. Might have been inside a little bit, but from my angle, it looked pretty good to me.
Third year in the program for Anthony. Didn't play a lot his first year. Got a lot of playing time last year. And a regular once again this year. The graduate of Omaha Central High School. A little flare to the right side. C.J. Molina will call for it and make the catch to retire the side. The Bruins 1 run short of continuing their trifecta streak. 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after 3.5. The Bruins up it to an 11-3 lead over the visiting Blue Hawks.
Well, Mick, it's that time of day again. I have to go get my children.
All righty. Thank you again, Chris, for your great color analysis today.
I will be back tomorrow for at least the first game, and however long I can stay in the second game again. So I love doing this. It's a lot of fun for me. I'm going to be here anyway because of the game. Might as well do this and help you out. So,
very good.
It's a lot of fun, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Sounds good. We will see you then. Chris Williamson heading off to do his dadly duties as we continue on with the remainder of this second game of the doubleheader. Bruins with 11 runs on 12 hits, no errors. For the Blue Hawks, 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. Chris will be back tomorrow. We'll all be back tomorrow. 10 o'clock start once again for the doubleheader between the Bruins and the Blue Hawks, excuse me. Hopefully we'll get a few more degrees added to the temperature when we start tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, okay. 35 degrees when we started today's doubleheader. But fortunately, little wind and sunshine as we get ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's first baseman C.J. Molina. He goes opposite field. Steven Elsner going back in left. Still going back. Can't make the play as it one-hops the fence. Molina makes a big turn around first. Decides not to try for a potential double. But he does start the inning off with a long single for the Blue Hawks. So the streak of 7 consecutive batters retired by starting pitcher Brady Toth comes to an end with that Molina single as Dickinson State tries to get back into this one, trailing by 8 runs. Here's catcher Caden Reeve. First pitch swinging down to third. Grade goes the short way to second for 1 over to first in time. The Bruins complete the around the horn double play. 5-4 to 3. That's Grade to Townsend to Ackerman. So quickly that mini threat comes to an end as the Bruins defense again does the job. Bellevue again with a solid defensive team, 971 fielding average on the season coming into today's contest. As a next batter to the plate is John Michael Gonzalez, the right fielder. Grounded out his first time up, wisely takes a pitch there to make Toth work a little bit in this inning. Next pitch misses outside. Brady Toth with 50 pitches thrown. Change up, swung on and missed through the first 3+ innings, 3 2/3. Fouled out of play over the third base dugout. Brown Park located at approximately 17th and U Street in Omaha, Nebraska, about a 10 to 15 minute drive from the Bellevue University campus. Sits in a natural bowl surrounded by steep hills on the east, the south, and the west side. Fastball down the middle of the plate for a called strike 3. So it turns into another 3 up, 3 down inning with that double play. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base as we head to the top of the 5th. The Bruins with an 11-3 lead over the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. Blue Hawks started the conference season last weekend in La Crosse, Wisconsin, playing against Viterbo. Viterbo took 3 of those 4 games. The Bellevue Bruins started the conference last weekend at home against Valley City State, winning all 4 contests. Bruins now 5-0 in conference. The Blue Hawks are 1-4. New pitcher for Dickinson State is number 23. So I shuffle the papers to tell you that is Moses Dokes on in relief. He too saw action in game number 1.
Now pitching for the Blue Hawks, number 23, Moses Dokes.
This is the 8th appearance on the year for Moses Dokes. Has a 1-win, 1-loss record in 10 1/3 innings coming into today, a 9.58 earned run average. 11 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 16 walks. So control may be a little bit of an issue based upon those numbers as he comes on to the top of the 5th to face the Bellevue Bruins. Dokes came on to play center field in game number 1. So his first appearance on the mound. He came in when starting left fielder Clay Prell injured his ankle running to first base. And the first Bellevue Bruin he will face is a designated hitter, Bryce Zimmer.
Beginning for the Bruins, designated hitter, number 12, Bryce Zimmer.
Zimmer, a junior from Creighton, Nebraska. That's west of here. Everything's west of here, basically, in Nebraska. My standard line. Here's the first pitch from Dokes. A little too tall, ball 1. Dokes, a sophomore from Denver, Colorado. Mitch misses again, this time on the bottom side of the zone. Now 3-0. Missed up, missed down, missed outside. Oh, he's covered 3 of the 4 directions. Trying to keep Zimmer from becoming the 5th consecutive leadoff man to reach for the Bruins. Good eye by Bryce. He will draw the walk. So all 5 innings, Bellevue has gotten their leading lady on the bags. Top of the order for the Bruins. So for the 4th time, the Bruins have sent their leadoff man to the plate against 3 different pitches. And that'll bring a visit from the coaching staff from Dickinson State, trying to get Moses Dokes to calm down just a little bit. Michael Dahl, the head coach for Dickinson State, now in his 5th season. Again, to his folks listening on up in Minnesota. Assistant coaches are Daniel Rivera, Sagan Osborne, and Jackson Horner. For the Bellevue Bruins, Dwayne Monlux. Back at the helm, a former Dickinson player and coach. First visit to the mound for Dickinson State in this game number 2. Mitch Schmidt is the associate head coach for Bellevue. 18 years under his belt, 17 years for pitching coach Sean Malley, and only 14 for Richie Moore. He and Dwayne came together to start their Bellevue baseball coaching careers. Top of the zone, called strike 1 on the pitch to Jake Lacey. Lacey's been up 3 times. He's been on 3 times. 2 doubles and a walk. For the top of the order for Bellevue. Breaking ball, misses up and in. Jake gets his noggin out of the way of that one. The batter and the base runner eyeing up head coach Dwayne Monlux to see if he's wanting anything on here. Too tall once again, now 2-1. Well, we mentioned Dokes had more walks than innings pitched as he was warming up. Falls behind to the 2nd consecutive batter. Now 3-1. As we see more action down in the Dickinson State bullpen. That pitch way too tall, so back-to-back walks to start off the inning. Lacey down to first, Zimmer down to second, and the batter will be the Bruin catcher, Logan Grant.
Batting the catcher, number 10, Logan Grant.
Grant looking for his first hit in this game. Had 1 in game number 1. Missing once again. So far, only 1 strike thrown by Moses Dokes to the first 3 batters he has faced. Dokes looks in, gets the signal from Caden Reeve, his catcher. That one fouled. I think I got a little piece of Reeve. One and 1 to count. Misses away, 2-1. Logan, one of the 6 Canadian members of the Bellevue baseball squad this year. I think earlier this year I said 4. I counted them the other day, and it's actually 6. So half a dozen young men from north of the border. Logan pops it up. Will it get out of play? Yes, it will. Up on the south side of the ballpark, up near W Street, at this historic park and baseball field. Called Brown Park because Brown was the last name of the farmer who owned this land before the city of Omaha purchased it back in the 19-teens. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2. Baseball field was put in shortly thereafter. I've got a picture here in the press box from a shot from 1926 of the crowd on hand for a ball game. Runners go on the pitch. That one's hit in the air. Shallow left center field. Just as the sun comes out, and nobody can find it, but finally at the last second, a great diving play by the center fielder. Nathaniel Gillick came a long way.
Now batting the first.
Or excuse me, that's Luke Clinton, the center fielder. Gillick was the left fielder. He lost it in the sun. So Gillick had to come battling the sun, the wind, and the height of the ball to make the catch to retire Logan Grant. Oh, nice play by Gillick. Runners have to hold. Now one away. Runners at first and second for first baseman Alec Ackerman. Ackerman 3 for 3. Breaking ball misses up top. Well, after going 8 for 8, Ackerman had a couple of outs. Now starting another hitting streak, 3 for 3. Fouled out of play opposite way. 6 for 8 on the day. Turns on a fastball to left field. Does it have enough on it? Maybe Angeli, the left fielder, falls down. Here comes the first runner around second base. And Alec Ackerman will be credited with a double, as left fielder Nathaniel Gillick had difficulty on the last two fly balls his way. The left field side is the sun field right now. So Ackerman will pick up an RBI on the double, scoring Bryce Zimmerer and advancing Jake Lacey over to third. So right now, left field is the sun field. As the day goes on, it'll move around, but this doubleheader will be completed before it works its way over to the right field side. Here's left fielder Steve Elsner with 2 runners in scoring position, and the Bruins with a 12-3 lead. Line back to the screen. 12 runs on 13 hits for the Bruins. Bruins have scored in every inning today. 3-3-3-2-1. Swing and a miss. Elsner with the 3-run home run to get the Bruins on the board in inning number 1. 0 for 2 since then. More RBI opportunity for him here. And he'll get him. Lined into a right center field. In comes Lacey. In comes Ackerman. Elsner to second base with a 2 RBI double. And the Bruins continuing to pull away in this game number 2 of the doubleheader. So 2 extra base hits for Steven Elsner.
24, Brendan Luther.
Looks like Elsner will be coming out of the game. And into the game in his stead for the Bruins, number 27, Samuel Fortier will check in for Elsner. So we'll put a line here, change the name there, and introduce Brendan Luther, left-handed hitting shortstop. Well, Moses Dokes continues to work for the Blue Hawks. The Bruins have treated him fairly rudely. First pitch to Luther is away. 4 of the 5 batters he has faced have reached base. 2 hits, 2 walks on the inning for the Bruin base runners. 2-0. Fortier, the pinch runner, another of the Canadian guys, Quebec City, Quebec, his hometown. On the outside, Black, 2-1. Luther 3 for 3. The double look by Dokes. The pitch bounces. Now 3-1. Two doubles, 2 singles, and a home run for Brendan Luther today. Pretty productive day at the plate. Fouled out of play left side. Full count. Anthony Hansen warming up in the Dickinson State bullpen. Fouled back once again off the netting. Not much of a breeze today, which is very good because of the chilly conditions. There's a base hit into the hole. Runner rounding third base. He will score easily. Samuel Fortier puts up another run on the board for the Bruins on the RBI single by Brendan Luther. The last 3 Bruin batters each have collected at least 1 run batted in. Ackerman 1, Elsner 2, and 1 more for Luther. Substitution into the game for the home team, not the visiting Bellevue Bruins today. Number 4, Scott Hansen will hit in the spot of Nick Grade. We'll put Scott's name into the book. We'll draw a line there. Scott, the 6-foot sophomore from Portage, Indiana. First pitch swinging. That's going to be off the first baseman. Only the second time today he's been hit on a hard hit ball. That time off the wrist. So that'll be a base hit for Scott Hansen in his first plate appearance. Coming into today's game, Hansen was hitting .333. One hoppers off this field turf can get on an infielder pretty quickly, especially at the corners. That's the second time today Molina's been in a situation like this. The first time he took one off the lower leg. This time it looks like it's off the wrist. Mike Livergood, the Bellevue athletic trainer, over there to take a look at him as Michael Dahl works his way across the field to see how his first baseman is doing. (15-3) our score. It was 3-3 after 1. Bellevue just continued to put points, put runs on the board. It looks like Molina's going to come out of the game. And just what you need on a day when the temperature's in the 40s, he'll probably put a bag of ice on his arm, make it an even more miserable situation.
Now playing first base for Dickinson State, number 1, Andrew Scully.
So number 1, Andrew Scully will enter the game to play first base. First appearance of the afternoon. As Molina, the second Dickinson State player to have to leave the doubleheader because of injury. Home plate umpire Mike Andrick officially signals Scully into first base. He'll get a couple of warm-up tosses. Bellevue runners at first and second. Luther at second. Hansen at first. And C.J. Townsend at the plate. He of the 14-game hitting streak. First pitch from Dokes. Short hops the catcher. That'll go off the netting. So on the wild pitch, both runners advance. Luther to third. Hansen to second. Still just one out in the inning for the Bruins. Infield will play back. They'll concede a run, trying to get an out. Trying to avoid giving up two. There's a called strike. 1-1 the count on Townsend. Swing and a miss. Good pop on that fastball from Dokes. Swing and a miss on a changeup. The out will have to be recorded at first base. It is, and then now are 2 outs in the inning. Nice job by the catcher to block up that pitch breaking downward, and then on to first base for the out. Here's right fielder Anthony Lind. Lind 1 for 2. Also a walk, a stolen base, and 2 runs scored. Ball 1 on the first pitch from Dokes. Again, a little bit too tall. Bellevue on a 6-game winning streak. The Bruins are 11-2 in the month in March. Averaging 7 runs per game. They've more than doubled that in the second game of today's contest against these Blue Hawks. Now down low, so a 3-0 situation for Lind. Maybe given the green light here. Strike called at the top of the zone. Now 3-1. Lind, the 9th Bellevue batter of the inning. Called strike 2, full count. Bryce Zimmer started it off with a walk. He's on deck for Bellevue. Hit to left center field. 2 outfielders giving chase. A diving stab out there by the center fielder to make the catch. Great hustle by Luke Clinton. He went all out, landing hard on his chest and stomach, but held on to the baseball to rob Anthony Lind of extra bases and bring the half inning to an end. Bellevue picks up 4 more runs in the inning, and after 4.5, it's the Bruins 15 and the Blue Hawks 3. Great defensive play by Clinton. Looks like we may have some more substitutes into the game for the Bellevue Bruins. I can see number 14, Nick Gravel, is on at shortstop for Brendan Luther. At third base, Scott Hansen came in the last half inning. He's over there. At first base, replacing Alec Ackerman, will be number 44.
number 25.
Elijah Bear.
Catching, number 13, Trad Richardson. In left field, number 27.
Behind the plate, number 13, Trad Richardson enters for Logan Grant.
At third base, number 4, Scott Hansen. At second base, number 2, Tyler Monroe.
Tyler Monroe in for C.J. Hansen at second. And we'll try to get the couple of others as well. Back to the pitcher's mound goes Brady Toth. And the first man he will face in the bottom of the inning is Cole Simbab, the shortstop. Hits it in the air to the right side. That's caught out there in center field. Who's our new center fielder, Bill? I'm sorry? Anthony Lynn moves over to center field from right field. So who's our new right fielder? Takumi? Takumi Maeno in right field in the spot of Jake Lacey. As subs are coming fast and furious. The batter is Luke Clinton. Takes a called strike one. Breaking ball again, strike two. Quick work ahead of the hitters by Brady Toth. That one chopped foul up the third base line. Pat's the third base coach. The wind picking up just a little bit, still not like it was over the weekend when we had it gusting over 30 miles an hour. Another chilly day on tap for tomorrow for the second day of doubleheader action. Called strike three on a fastball down the heart of the plate. And now 2 outs in the inning. 5 strikeouts on the day for Brady Toth, 1 in each of the innings that he has pitched. Back to the top of the order for the Blue Hawks. Here's Nathaniel Gillick. A breaking ball in the zone. Nice movement across and down on that curve. Gillick 0 for 2, fly ball to each of the corner outfielders today. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. That's been a strong pitch for Toth today. Brady wants to get right back to work as Gillick steps out for a moment. The 0-2. Foul ball up the third base line. Count remains 0-2. Toth looks in, gets the signal from Trad Richardson, his catcher, fouled over the top of the backstop. Tomorrow, Friday, they're forecasting a few degrees cooler. 47 is projected for the high tomorrow on a partly cloudy day. On the outside corner, a called strike three. So another 3 up, 3 down inning. That's 4 consecutive 3 up, 3 down innings for pitcher Brady Toth and the Bellevue defense, as the Blue Hawks go down in order once again. 5 innings in the book. 15-3 our score. Bellevue Bruins with the commanding 12-run lead. Again, the 10-run rule does apply to the second game of the doubleheader, the 9-inning contest. So if the Bruins can hold on to that cushion, this one could be done after 7 innings of play. New pitcher for the Blue Hawks. Number 20, Anthony Hansen is the new pitcher. 4th pitcher of this game. You can probably hear the wheels of my brain spinning as I write Hansen's name into the scorebook. Four pitchers used at each of the 2 games of the doubleheader thus far for head coach Michael Dow. For Anthony Hansen, he's a freshman right-hander. His 4th appearance on the season, 3 2/3 innings. All of them in relief.
Number 35, Caden Finders.
22.09 earned run average.
20, Anthony.
So he's trying to lower that as he keeps the Bruins from expanding on their lead. All right, designated hitter Bryce Zimmer remains in the lineup. He'll start things off in the top of the 6th inning.
36 went to center, 35's playing second for the center fielder.
Anthony Nieto now in center field for Dickinson State. First pitch to Zimmer's a called strike 1. Second pitch down low, 1-1 the count. New second baseman into the game for Dickinson State.
35.
Thank you. I was just going to say, as soon as he moves his glove, I'll be able to see his number. That one flied to left field. Again, having difficulty with it, but coming on to make the play after finally finding it is the left fielder, Nathaniel Gillick, for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, the right fielder.
Caden Finders is the new second baseman.
Maeno.
Into the game in the spot of Gillick. Top of the order for the Bruins. Here's Jake Lacey. Nope, we've got Takumi Maeno. Sorry, Takumi. Looked at the book instead of looking at the field. Takumi tries to hold up his swing. They'll say no swing. Able to keep the barrel of the bat back behind the plate. 1-0 the count for the native of Japan, second year in the program. Again, checks his swing, ahead in the count, 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. So once again for the Blue Hawks, Caden Finders in second at the second base position. Alberto Nieto moves from second to center field. 3-1. Takumi mostly used as a pinch and courtesy runner on the season. Not a ton of at-bats so far. Chopped into the hole. Backhanded stab over there by the shortstop. The throw to first base is not nearly in time as Takumi legs out the infield single. So that leadoff spot continuing to get on base for the Bellevue Bruins. Nice backhanded stop there by Simbab, the shortstop, but with the speed of Takumi Maeno, not nearly in time on the throw to first. Here's the catcher, Trad Richardson, his first at-bat of the afternoon. Richardson, the Montana native, awaits the pitch from Anthony Hansen. It's down low. Richardson hitting 194 thus far in the season, 36 at-bats for Trad. A junior in eligibility, ahead in the count. Wearing number 13 on his back, so he must not be too superstitious wearing that number. A little ahead on the swing on that pitch. Now 2-1. Third year in the Bellevue program for Richardson as he awaits the next pitch. Called strike on the inner half. Count evens up at 2-2. Takumi Maeno, the base runner at first. Bruins up by 12 runs, so probably not looking to steal here. Called strike 3 on a breaking ball. That fooled Richardson. And that's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for relief pitcher Anthony Hansen.
Baseman, number 44.
Stepping next to the plate, his first time this afternoon, first baseman Elijah Bear, the left-handed swinging. First sacker for the Bruins. First pitch swinging comes up empty. Elijah hitting .283. He's had 46 at-bats. Sophomore in eligibility. On the outside edge. Hansen finding the zone over the last several pitches. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Elijah from the Lone Star State. Lays off that pitch down low, 1-2. Willis, Texas, the hometown for the sophomore. Hansen comes set just below the letters. Pitch misses just a little bit upstairs, 2-2. Line hard into right field for a base hit. Mayeno around second base. Rounding third, he'll be held there by Dwayne Modlix. Don't want to take too much of a chance with a 12-run lead. So the single by Bear puts runners at first and third with 2 outs. And that'll bring to the plate number 27, Samuel Fortier. First year in the program for Fortier. 2 hits and 5 at-bats on the season. The junior from Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. Breaking ball on the knees for a called strike 1. Mathieu Serrois was from Quebec City, wasn't he? 2-year member of the Bellevue program, finished his eligibility last year. Bill thinks they went to the same high school there in Quebec. I had heard Mathieu had signed a professional contract in Canada last year, but not sure what he's up to this year. Little tapper in front of the mound. Hansen gloves it. The throw to first in time to retire Fortier and retire the side. The first inning, the Bruins do not score a run. They come up empty, no runs. On 2 hits, there were no errors and 2 men left on base after 5.5. The Bruins 15 and the Blue Hawks 3. Brady Toth back to the mound for the Bruins for this bottom of the 6th inning. He's been cruising along, has only allowed 5 hits on the game. Only 1 hit since the first inning. It's been 3 up, 3 down for the last 4 innings, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. He did get help from a double play after surrendering that lone single in the 4th inning. Bruins winning game number 1 by a score of 9-6. 15-3 here. Hey, we're multiples of 3 today. Brady does not have a complete game under his belt yet on the season. Has an opportunity maybe here. Center fielder Alberto Nieto will start things off for Dickinson State. First pitch just a little off the outside edge. Nieto 1 for 2. This time it clips the outside edge on the breaking ball, 1-1. Nieto 3 hits on the day, 2 in the first game, 1 so far here in the second. That pitch on the inner half called strike. Hit on the ground to second base. Gloved over there by Tyler Monroe, and on to first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting the third baseman.
A lot of the reserves on the field for the Bruins at this point in the game. Third baseman Wyatt Wilharm, the next batter for the Blue Hawks. A little bit wide on the first pitch. Trad Richardson for his second inning of work behind the plate with Brady Toth breaking ball in the zone, 1-1 the count. Bear at first, Monroe at second, Gravel at short, Hanson at third, the infield for the Bellevue Bruins. Both Mathieu Sirois and Kanta Kobayashi played last year in the Frontier League. It's an independent league in Canada. Mathieu played for Le Capitale de Québec. How's that for French, huh? And Kanta played for the Ottawa Titans in the Frontier League. Chopper on the ground to short. Gravel, the backhand grab, rights himself, throws across the diamond, right on the money. A nice play by Gravel at short. 6-3 on the putout. Took just a bit of a hitch getting it out of his glove, but then a strong throw to retire Wilharm. Here's cleanup hitter Keanu Kalamayan. 1 for 2 his afternoon with the run batted in. Dickinson State scoring 3 runs in the first inning. Then the bats have been pretty quiet ever since. Breaking ball misses away. Thanks again to Bill Mullins, sports information guy from Bellevue University, providing me with stats and information and updates. Just an all-around nice guy. Yeah, that's debatable. Okay. Danny Spongeberg, one of the redshirt members of the Bellevue squad. Injured. Okay. We'll get that correct. Working the music on today's game and scoreboard. Double duty. Good thing you have 2 hands. Toth back to work. Gets the signal. A little bit low. Falls behind on Kalamayan. 3-1 the count on the designated hitter for Dickinson State. And he'll draw the walk as that pitch misses low. Only 2 base runners. Kalamayan being one of them since the bottom of the second inning. Here's Andrew Scully. Scully came in relief of C.J. Molina when he was injured. Took a hard hit ball off the wrist. They'll say he went around on the swing. Tough call there against Scully. Working from the stretch, Toth delivers. That's hit in the air to center field. And that's caught out there to retire the side. Center fielder Takumi Mieno making the play. Anthony Lind, Mieno backing it up from his right field spot. I forgot that Anthony moved over from right to center field. So Anthony Lind on the catch to retire the side. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. 6 innings in the book. If the Bruins hold on to a 10 or more run lead, 7th inning could be the final one of the second game of the doubleheader. Gravel, Hanson, and Monroe, the first 3 scheduled hitters for the Bellevue Bruins in the top of the 7th inning, facing relief pitcher Anthony Hanson. In game number 1 today, the Bruins had to come from behind twice to earn the 9-6 victory. Game number 2, it's been pretty much all Bellevue as they've been dominant with a 15-3 lead. Bullpen is quiet, so it looks like this one is Anthony Hansen's game to finish for the Blue Hawks. Leading it off in the top of the 7th, the shortstop, Nick Gravel.
Leading off, the shortstop, number 14, Nick Gravel.
First at-bat of the day for Gravel after Brendan Luther had a great afternoon. Just a perfect 4 for 4. First pitch to Nick, down low. Gravel from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I don't think Bellevue has had anybody ever that far east in North America. Here, that's something for you to look up.
I'm just going to say no.
There you go. I think that's a pretty wise move. Nova Scotia, one of the easternmost provinces in Canada. Gravel takes that one inside. 2-1 the count on the Bruins shortstop. Breaking ball drops into the zone to even up the count. Gravel, a newcomer to the Bellevue program this year. He played 2 years at Prairie Baseball Academy and 1 year at Hill College. Chops it off his front foot, or actually back foot. That's hard to do. Bill over there hogging the heater.
Hey, if you want it, it's all you. We've had it long enough.
2-2 the count. Chopper again, foul up the first base side. Watch out, Mitch Schmidt. Mitch, the associate head coach, usually the first base coach for the Bruins. We'll do the 2-2 over again. It'll be a full count as that pitch finds its way to the backstop. Gravel gets ahead of that one, pulls it over the Bellevue bullpen out of play. So a good battle going on here between Anthony Hansen and Nick Gravel. Hey, we made it over 50, currently 51 in Omaha. As the payoff pitch once again, that misses low and away. So Gravel will earn the walk to lead off the inning. Bellevue has had its leadoff man on 6 of the 7 frames today. Good job of creating offense and putting defense pressure on the defense. Here's Scott Hansen, number 4. Scott, a sophomore from Portage, Indiana. I think I said that last time, but we'll say it again. Second at-bat of the day. Reached his first time up. That one's hit to center field. Center fielder going back. That's Nieto out there now. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Hit pretty well, but to the deepest part of the park. About 380 to straightaway center field.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2.
Here's second baseman Tyler Monroe. Up and away, ball 1 to Tyler. Monroe's played now in 19 games on the season for Bellevue. A Ahead in the count, 2-0. 323 batting average. 10 hits thus far for him. Again, way wide, 3-0 the count. Anthony Hansen, the fourth pitcher of the game for the Dickinson Blue Hawks. Van Lushen got the start, then Dietz, then Dokes, now Hansen. Called strike on the inner half, 3-1. Bruins ahead by 12 runs. They're not going to be stealing in this situation. Gravel gets his lead off of first. And now he'll head down to second base as Tyler Monroe draws the walk. Second walk of the inning. And a pinch hitter for the Bruins here. Gage Julin will have an at-bat for Anthony Lynn. Gage Julin. Gage, a catcher by trade. As Anthony Lynn has a 1-for-3 game. Julin, first pitch swinging, but pulled the trigger just a little bit early out ahead of that as it fouls up the left field line. Julin hitting .250 on the year. Grounds out one to third. Second base for one. On over to first base. And around the horn double play. 5-4-3 takes the Bruins out of the seventh inning. No runs on no hits. No errors. One man left on base as we head to the bottom of the seventh inning. The Bruins maintain a 15-3 lead over the Blue Hawks. If the Bruins can hold Dickinson State in this inning, that will be the ball game. Bruins with a 12-run lead, 10 or more, and this one will be done. And we will have a call to the bullpen for the Bellevue Bruins. Brady Toth's day is done. A great outing by Brady, only allowing 3 runs on 5 hits. The new Bellevue pitcher, number 41, Jaden Vinson, will come on in relief. For Jaden, this is his 8th appearance on the season. 1 win, no losses in 10 1/3 innings of work. He's allowed 17 hits, 16 runs, has struck out 8, and has walked 6, a 6.97 earned run average for Vincent. Trying to hold down the fort here in the 7th inning and finish the second game of today's doubleheader and continue the Bruins' perfect start to the 2024 conference season. He'll be facing the bottom half of the order for Dickinson State. Leading it off, the catcher, number 8, Caden Reeve. Reeve, a 2-run double back in the first inning, then grounded into a double play in the 4th. Here's the first pitch from Vincent. Fouled back to the netting. 0-1 the count. Foul back to the netting once again. 0-2. As Jaden jumps ahead. Vincent, 0-2. Popped up on the infield, right side. Who's going to take charge? Second baseman Tyler Monroe calls for it. Has to drift a little bit with the breeze. He'll glove it for the first out of the inning. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here for the Blue Hawks. Number 28
Number 28.
is Xander L. Eilers. Xander, don't see many names starting with the letter X, but Xander does have one. Xander Eilers. Strike one on the first offering from pitcher Jaden Vinson. Working ahead of both batters he has faced. I don't see Eiler's name in the stat sheet, so this might be his first at-bat of the season. Missing away on the second pitch, 1-1 the count. Eiler's from Brandon, Manitoba. Nicely located there on the pitch on the outer half. Now he's behind in the count, 1-2. Line hard, but right at the third baseman. Knocked down, picked up, throw across the diamond. Picked it first. And the out is recorded. Elijah Bear gets a hand from his teammates for the nice pick. Good job of staying in front of that one by the Bruin third baseman, Scott Hansen, recovering in time for the out. So the Blue Hawks down to their final out. And again, we'll have a pinch hitter. This time it is number 9, Matthias Duffner. Duffner, a senior from Glendive, Montana. A chance for a bat here. Jaden Vincent trying to work a perfect 1-2-3 inning. Gets ahead once again with a strike. Not a save situation. Thought I'd make you chuckle with that one. Little chopper. Vincent off the mound. He'll glove it, toss it over to Bear at first base, and he works a 1-2-3 inning. And the Bellevue Bruins, via the 10-run rule, earn the victory by a score of 15-3 over Dickinson State. 15 runs on 18 hits and no errors. A good job on offense, defense, and on the mound for the Bruins. 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for Dickinson State. With the victory, the Bellevue Bruins are now 18-9 overall, a perfect 6-0 in the North Star Athletic Association. With the loss, Dickinson State drops to 3-22, 1-5 in conference play. The winning pitcher is Brady Toth.
Omaha South playing Benson High.
As he comes away with the victory. And we'll be right back at it again tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. 9 o'clock Mountain Time for Dickinson State fans listening in. As the Bruins, an exciting win in game number 1, a thumping in game number 2 as we finish up action here from John Stella Field at Brown Park. We'll turn things over to the South High squad. They're in action today against Omaha Benson High School in high school play. Back for more college baseball tomorrow morning. Thanks once again to Bill for his work behind the scenes, providing us with stats, and live stats, and PA, and a little bit of everything. He's one of those guys that can scratch his head and rub his tummy at the same time in coordination. All right, Mick Krupski signing off for today. Starting to battle now, so we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. start will be on about 5 to 10 minutes ahead of that, right here for more baseball on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.